Hey guys, episode 3 of Hindsight Rotations with somebody's gun. And what we're going to be looking at in this video is an early game rotation. All of that starts with your drop spot. So we're going to spectate myself here. And what I'm doing right off the bat is understanding where players are landing around me. And that's going to be vital to know whether or not I need to quickly land, grab weapons, and fight someone, or I have time to gather loot materials and chill and focus on rotating. So in this example, I don't have anyone to fight off spawn. That's one of the reasons why I like this spot, and feel free to use it if you choose so. Let's go into drone free so I can give you a little more context to this. Let me hide the HUD. And for this rotation spot, I'm going to hit this house, move across the bridge, and hit this house. And there's a couple chests up this way that I'll grab. There's also a few fishing spots that I like, and typically some will spawn over here. They didn't this game, but doesn't mean they won't. So, first point, reemphasize. You need to understand where people are landing. I don't have anyone landing near me. That is okay. It won't necessarily happen for everyone. If someone lands near you, act accordingly. Grab weapons, put yourself in a position to be able to fight them. I'm not going to go into that in this video, but it is important to do. Secondly, learning player rotations. So, if I'm landing in this building, where are other players going to land and rotate that will affect me? Obviously, there's nothing really behind me, so I don't have to worry about that. Typically, if we're looking at the map, I'm going to have to move north. So, I really only have to look north. One spot is here, another spot's Misty, but typically people aren't going to move out of Misty that quickly. Another spot's going to be here, and then if we look, there's a house up this way that I could potentially have to deal with if someone lands there, so be wary of that. Additionally, people can land here. It's a pretty solid loot spot, but it puts yourself in a negative position because of the disadvantage of height. I love landing here because you could easily take advantage of people landing lower. So, that being said, let's move on. We're understanding where players are rotating from, and you need to do this by landing in a spot multiple times. This is going to be the next spot that I move to. So, I'm again looking where players are rotating from. Unless they're grabbing one chest, they're not landing here, they're not landing here. They'll be all the way over towards the wooded area, or once again down here. This comes to your own intelligence and information gathering. You're going to have to do this on your own based on your own spot. I can only show you what I know and what I think is important. So, that being said, look at where people are, look at where they're rotating from, and then the final point is finding where your weak points in your own rotation are. So I know on this loop path that I'm basically following this road. And if someone lands on the top over here and rotates up this way, or lands in this house, when I'm rotating through this way to go grab this chest over here, I'm at a disadvantage. So I need to be aware of that and make sure that I'm being extra careful and looking in this area to cover my ass. I don't want someone to be able to laser me because they have high ground advantage, and I simply don't want to fight this fight. Secondly, I also need to be aware that someone may be rotating behind me because I could have not seen them when I was moving this way. That's what happens in this video, is someone actually does come from over here, grabs this, and then comes up this path while I'm looting. I look down, there was no one down there, and then eventually I get screwed because someone comes up this path. I'm all the way this way, and I win the fight, but it puts me at a disadvantage. So just something you always want to be aware of is where people are coming from. So knowing your loot path is going to be up to you. I can't teach you your own loot path. You can use mine if you want, but it's going to be up to your own intelligence and time to understand where people are going to be attacking you from when you're moving towards zone. I know typically I'm moving north on this zone, so there's only so many locations I have to worry about. The last point is setting yourself up for success, which I talk about in my second Hindsight Rotations. I want you guys to take a look at that, but essentially what it means is putting yourself in a good location to succeed for the next zone. And what I mean by that is we used to try and all go towards the center of zone, but that doesn't necessarily ring true as the best place to be anymore. What you want to do is find the optimal location towards the center-ish part of zone. You don't necessarily want to be smack dab in the middle because a lot of other players are going to be trying to do that. So offset yourself from the center and find a place that's slightly elevated in order to give yourself some good vision, or use some natural barriers to protect yourself from enemies. Well, that's all I got for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll continue to put them out as long as you guys enjoy them. Let me know in the comments if there's anything you're looking for, and I'll see you guys on next time of Hindsight Rotation.